I can't see that. I looked at the stats. They're pretty good for both, especially okay. The starting white guys are a lot better than the bench. Like I think the black team bench is obviously way deeper.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking at the stats, we kind of it's not a cliff, but it's downhill from the starters.
Downhill, yeah.
So,
Because yeah, the bench for the black could actually start. So I know what you mean.
yeah. What is happening, Toronto Raptor fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Raptors in Black and White. As always, we've got the coach, Head Swag, in the house,
What's up, Rapture people?
and of course, yours truly, Slang. We talk about what the week that was, a hot topic, and then the week coming up for the Toronto Raptors every Sunday. And this week, exciting, we've got the NBA All Star game today. I don't know if you watched the dunk contest and the celebrity rising stars and all that kind of stuff on Friday and yesterday. Did you
I
watch
got
it?
bits and pieces of it out here and there. Yes, I
Again,
was
I
at a
was
bar, so you know what? Over the drinks and the music, you try to cue it in at the same time. Hard to do though.
sure. Now, I was reminiscing with my family, watching it, telling them about the days when, again, we would all get together as friends every year to watch, Jordan and
Yep.
Dominique Wilkins battle it out as to who was going to be the champion. Back when the actual stars of the NBA would enter the dunk contest, and it wasn't always just rookies.
Was just
Uh,
always rookies. Clyde Drexler, Spud Webb. We had a slew of them, but I wish that would come back. But hey, NBA, talk to the bands.
yes, exactly, exactly. But anyway, but this week in the Raptors, we thought they were going to give us a couple victories. We were pretty
Ooh,
confident, but
ooh.
unfortunately, Detroit, as we were talking about just before we came on here, kind of pummeled us in that game.
Oh,
Oh my
yes,
God, we
yes.
lost 113 to 95. I think they had Kate Cunningham was sitting most of the fourth quarter. They didn't even need him in the game.
Didn't even need them in the game. They were in full control from the beginning to end. We held up a bit in the first quarter, but as quarter to quarter went, especially that third quarter, I don't know, against marquee teams, when the second half starts, we just don't come up with that juice. And once we get pummeled, it's like there it goes.
Yeah, sadly, I can't even defend that. We had Jakob Poeltl in the lineup. Now, granted, it was his first game back, so he was a little bit on limited minutes, but RJ was there too, and yeah, we just got it handed to us. In fact, it was kind of interesting. The announcers kept trying to use Detroit as an analogy or comparison to the Raptors, where 2 seasons ago Detroit had 14 wins. They really improved last year, which they were saying the Raptors have kind of done this year. And then now look where Detroit is. So they were kind of saying that, potentially next year Raptors could end up being in a stronger position like Detroit is this year. Well, I guess I could buy into that a little bit. What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely could buy into that. They are on the up and ups, since the BI has came, since Barrett has came, we've been climaxing. So, and in the right direction. So we're chewing off a little by little.
Yep, no, I agree. I mean, we did pummel the Pacers as we thought, 122-104. That was a pretty easy victory. Scotty Barnes, went crazy in that one. 25 points. I think he had 14 rebounds. Yeah.
And I like when the guys play like that. When Scotty's having fun, when they're sharing the sugar, the victory seems sweet. But I think when they play teams that were they're supposed to have potential, or they think it's a big game coming up, I think they get too tense. I think you know what I mean. I think they think it on too much. They just need to go out and play the game.
Yeah, that seems to be our problem this year. We've commented on that a few times. And again, the announcers were talking about our record against. It's funny, actually, because, uh, oh my God, what the heck is his name? Jack Armstrong. And who was the main guy? Matt Devlin. Matt Devlin was saying he was trying to sugarcoat it a little bit. So he had Raptors record against teams that were better than 500 when the Raptors played them, which I think gave us a few more victories. Jack Armstrong kind of stomped on that, saying, "No, I look at the team like you got to look at the Raptors' record against um, the teams that are now over 500, which it was a little nuanced, but it showed that the Raptors were their Raptor stats were a little worse in that scenario, and it was interesting just to hear them sort of compare that. But yeah, that seems to be our problem is we're beating up the teams that we should beat up, but when we're playing a team better, I don't know, we seem to tighten up, and even a couple weeks ago when we lost that game in the last few minutes. Um, anyway,
Yeah.
it seems to be a problem mentally.
It
They got
seems
to
to
get
be a
that
problem,
together.
and there's been a couple of games that way. Like when we're playing against tough teams, there's some certain things you just can't get away with, and the Raptors seem to just always shoot their footing on. Hey, is it a learning process? Yes, it is. But I think we're at this stage. The guys are professionals. They should be acting and going out and doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree. All right, but anyway, enough about that because I got another topic. Well, two actually. I want to talk about the All Star game because it is today,
It is
as we
today. That
already
is
said.
correct.
Yeah. So, first of all, what do you think of the format that is going to happen today? They're doing for the first time the world versus the United States. Um, the only thing sorry, give me your thoughts and then I've got a comment, a little critique about it. But what do you think?
Well, the last couple of years, to me, the NBA All-Star, the dunk contest, the three-point has sort of been a little lamish, I would say. So I think to spruce it up, they're changing it up. Let's see, and change is always good for the soul. So let's see what happens. We got the U.S. The U.S. has a good amount of guys, and yes, the world, because the NBA has been going around the world and collecting guys. There's a good amount of guys there. So hey, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, the idea I think is to get the players to actually try hard because again, back in our day, it was great when the All-Star game came on. It was fun. Like, they wanted to win. Imagine, like Michael
Yeah.
Jordan and Scotty and whoever, Charles Barkley, all those guys, they were in the games to try to beat the East or beat the West, whichever team, they were
Whichever
on.
team, oh yeah,
Even up to like the Kobe years, I think even he was out there competing. But it seems, yeah, the last few years nobody really tries. I saw a clip of Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic just like volleyballing it almost back to each other, back and forth, going down the court, and then Jokic did do a ridiculously sick last pass to a different guy over his shoulder who dunked it, but still, it was they were highlighting that nobody really cares about the game. So I like this idea of the world versus the USA. I only wish they didn't dilute the US team into two. Like I don't know why, uh, the commissioner thinks that we need to have a like a little tournament. It's like he's trying to promote his NBA Cup, so he wants to have this little round robin tournament at the All Star game. Why not just have one game, the best U.S. against the best world? Because I would love to
that's,
see if the world wins. The U.S. is just going to go, oh well, we had a diluted team. We had half our guys over here and half our guys over there. So
that's right. That's
I don't
right.
know. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and like you said, I think he is trying to promote this mini cup thing because it is bringing a little buzz to it. But at the All Star, like you said, just get the best versus the best and let them shoot it out. That's what should be happening. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. But what I want to talk about today, because it's kind of getting some buzz around. I don't know if you've seen this clip. I debated whether I show you before or after, but I don't know if you've seen it or not. Do you know Nick Wright? Do you know there's a show on Fox Sports? I think it's First Things First. I watch it quite a bit. Um, it's pretty good. Nick Wright is sort of the host, and then there's a couple other guys on there that I love. One guy's hilarious, and then the other guy's pretty smart with all the stats. So anyway, he was on though as a guest on the Bill Simmons podcast. Nick Wright was,
Okay.
and Bill Simmons asked him what he would do. How do you fix the NBA All Star Game? And I actually have it queued up here to show you. Let me see if this will work. I hope it works. Okay. I don't know. Have you seen this clip?
No.
All right, here we go. So check this out, and then we'll talk about it because I got some teams lined up to talk about.
How would you fix the game on Sunday?
Well,
is it fixable? Because I don't think it is.
It's fixable in 4 years if your guy Con Knipple continues on this trajectory. And we just have to say, you know what? PC headlines be damned.
I know where you're going.
White guys versus black guys. Luca, Joker, Flag, Reeves, Knipple, against Wimby, whomever. I'm telling you right now, guys would play fucking hard. Guys, like that, there would be a real edge to the game.
We get a lot of talking points going.
Get a lot of tension, and we are getting close to a place where it'd be like, oh, that'd be a good game. Like there hasn't been a moment in the NBA in the last 50 years where if that ended up just by chance being the game, it would be you could see either team winning. But right now, like Cooper Flag and Con Knipple and Austin Reed doing a lot of work.
There. Yeah.
You get all Eastern Europeans. Like you get Luca, you get Joker, you have real talent. That's something. In the meantime, I don't know what the hell you do.
How would you fix the game on Sunday? Is it fixable? Because I don't think it is.
So, yeah,
Yes.
what are your comments on that?
Yeah, I think I would roll with it. I never looked at it on that angle. Yeah, he's got something there.
Yeah, well, it's getting some
Honestly.
traction. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're saying it would definitely get some traction. It would definitely get some traction. And I think the guys would play hard because on both sides, they both have something to prove. You know what I mean? So, and in 50 years, I haven't seen something like that. He's right. A little spice to the game. Why not?
I've been thinking about because I think this clip came out maybe 2 days ago. It might have been 3. I don't remember when I saw it. I saw it that day. I followed Bill Simmons or whatever. So, and I do like Nick Wright. I think he's a pretty good analyst of sports. And so, yeah, I've been watched. So I showed my son and I showed my wife yesterday. And when I went to search the clip, there were a ton of other people commenting like this thing is starting to spread. Some people were appalled. Some people, I watched one where this one guy was like, this is a racist and this is unbelievable. Why are we promoting this? What is Nick Wright? He was calling Nick Wright washed. And so I was like, what's this guy talking about? I mean, he's probably on the prime show on Fox, but anyway, that's a whole other debate. But yeah, I thought that I actually have been thinking about it. So like I said, for the last couple of days, I believe that this could potentially be the most watched sporting event possibly of all time. If they actually got it organized, a year in advance, they kind of announce it so that everyone can prepare emotionally and mentally, because who knows what the ramifications are afterwards and everything. It could be, I hope that it wouldn't be a social disaster. I would hope people could
see past
some
that, right?
Fun with it. Sorry, pardon?
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. So that's what I'm just trying to say. I'm like, if it's not a serious atmosphere, if it's just like, hey, listen, there's a bunch of guys that are this good on this side. We got a bunch of guys that are good on this side. Who cares about the color? But hey, there is a little difference. Let them clash. So be it. I'm saying it ain't like it's gonna be like, well, hey, these guys won. They're superior. No, it's just a game.
Yeah. No, it's a one-off game. Well, sorry. So that's why actually I don't believe it should be a one-off game too, because I was thinking about that. Because I think either way, obviously, yes, if the white guys could, sort of squeeze out a victory, I would think there would have to be another game for them to be able to, play each other again.
So you're saying a best out of 3 to solidify who it is, then?
Oh, I don't know that. See, and maybe, I don't know, because that's what I'm saying, is I don't know if you're going to get a definitive answer.
So we're going back to what the commissioner's doing then. He needs that tournament in there.
Well, no, I'm saying, I'm just saying, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying it would be interesting enough, but I would think both ways the other team would want to get a chance to,
to get a comeback.
Just in case. Who knows what happens? Some fluky turnover. Like it's sort of like in the NBA, how they say every night any team can beat any team.
That's correct.
Any night this team could beat the other team. Who knows? Maybe Kevin Durant is sick that day.
But no, you're right. They should at least play 2 games to solidify. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you beat the team twice, then hey, listen, we have your number now. You cannot complain. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you are right. You are correct.
All right, so I actually made some teams, because I actually even want to get into it a little bit on like who would the white guys have a chance? Because obviously, black players are sort of the incumbent, like since the original, of course, NBA days when it started with a bunch of white guys until black people said, "What is this sport?" And then obviously caught up and surpassed most white people. I know there's the odd Larry Bird out there, but they're few and far between. So This is my starting team. I actually used a little bit of AI to help pull it together to make sure that I wasn't missing anything. I had some starters first, and then I had them sort of fill in the
and
bench.
and then have them fill in the blanks. Yeah, no
Both
problem.
teams, yeah. So this is my starting lineup, and actually, my starting lineup was slightly different than what the AI said, but I'm going with mine. So I've got Nikola Jokic at center. I've
Hmm.
got Chet Holmgren as my power forward. I've
Okay.
got Cooper Flagg as my small forward. Austin Reeves is my shooting guard, and then my point guard is Luka Doncic. That's a pretty
Hmm.
sick starting lineup.
That's a pretty six. I don't think you need anything else. Who's your six man? Do you have a six man? That's all you need.
Well, I got a full bench. I got a full backup. And I'm telling you, like I said, the black team is also stacked, obviously. But
Yeah.
I got Walker Kessler coming as my bench center, more sort
Okay.
of defense oriented. Maybe we could have put Sabonis in there. I don't know. But I've got Laurie Markkinen as my power forward coming off the bench. I don't know if it's Shengun or Sabonis as my small forward. Um, Denny Avija, who is actually already an all-star, would be my shooting guard, I think. And then I've got Josh Giddey stat-wise, but again, he could just be padding his stats because he's on Chicago. They don't really have any other guys. Maybe it's Knipple. In a year or two, he did okay in the three-point contest yesterday in the skills challenge or whatever. But maybe it is Peyton Pritchard, like Bill Simmons said. I don't know. There were a couple of other players that
Oh yeah, Pitchard lights it up, man. I'd have to stick him in there. When that guy gets hot, he gets rolling, and he rolls real fast.
yes. And then AI kind of thought that maybe TJ McConnell, just because he's so efficient, he has a really low turnover rate. Uh,
That's right.
and he's shooting 53.9 from the field. So anyway, and then the team against them or playing them, I had again solid, of course. Victor
Mhm.
Wembanyama at center.
Mhm.
I got
Yeah,
Giannis at my power forward.
yeah,
I've got now again. I had Kawhi, but the internet said Jalen Brown. Can't argue with that this year.
can't,
He's
yeah.
killing it. And
He's
Ant-Man is my shooting guard, who is
okay.
lighting it up from three. The guy decided he
Yeah,
wanted to be the best three-pointer, and he's almost that in the league. And then I got our Canadian boy, SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, as our point guard, reigning MVP of the league. And then my bench, the bench center, I wasn't sure. Joel Embiid, it said online. I'm not a huge Joel Embiid fan, so um, maybe I would like him on there because then he can whine and suck, and then that would give our white team a little bit more of an advantage to possibly win. Uh, but I'm not putting Joel Embiid on there for that reason. I'm going by what AI told me. And then, of course, I've got Kevin Durant as my power forward. So if Kawhi is not on my starting lineup, he's coming off the bench because he's been tearing it up. And obviously,
yeah.
as a Raptor fan, I mean, you see, he's the man right here. Gave us
He's the
that
man.
championship, which we will never forget. Um,
Never.
then I have Donovan Mitchell as my shooting guard and Tyrese Maxey as my backup guard.
Ooh, nice, 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 nice. Spider-Man's in there. Oh, definitely. That is a very powerful team.
Yes. So like it would be an interesting game, I think. I think it would be close. Like I
Yeah,
can't see that. I looked at the stats. They're pretty good for both. Especially, okay, the starting white guys are a lot better than the bench. Like I think the black team bench is obviously way deeper.
yeah, yeah.
Looking at the stats, we kind of it's not a cliff, but it's downhill from the starters.
Downhill, yeah. Because yeah, the bench for the black could actually start. So I know you.
Yeah. Well, most of the people that we rattled off are actually in the All-Star game already. That's
All right, thank you.
yes, that's the problem with the white team is there's some guys that wouldn't necessarily make the All-Star. I mean, lots of them are. Cooper Flagg's just injured. That's why he's not there.
That's right.
Nikola Jokic, I don't think
Oh yeah.
did Chet make it actually? I think maybe he is there. Yeah, Chet's in the game too. So
Yeah.
solid line. Now, the other thing that I was gonna sort of joke about was who would get like Steph Curry. Would the white team be able to have Steph Curry? Because he's got some white lineage, or are we saying
Nope,
there's
he goes
any
to us.
they don't get him? It's funny, I didn't put him on the team partly because I was going to ask your opinion on this, or even like Devin Booker. Can we have Devin Booker maybe?
Listen, let's go by the rule of thumb. He's got crink in his hair. He's going on our side.
All right, all right. What about Steph Curry's kids? We could have Steph Curry's kids probably in the future.
That's right. That's correct. That's right.
So yeah, so there's enough white lineage in there. So yeah, anyway, just an interesting topic. I really, like I said, believe that there would be a ton of people watching. There would be people that do not care about the NBA that would be tuning
That would be watching. Yeah.
in. Yeah. Now, one of the reaction shows that I watched, it kind of got bad in the comments. Unfortunately, it's disgusting. Humans in general. Some people were they didn't say what they were, but they were looking at they were doing it sort of live streaming, and
Right.
so people were commenting, and they were like, "We can't even repeat these comments." So sadly, some people would be watching it with sort of negative intentions to see what ends up happening, and possibly both ways. But I think the curiosity of it would draw. Someone on one of them said, I think you'd be pulling like Super Bowl type numbers for this game if it actually happened. And
If it actually happened, I think so. Because, like I said, we haven't seen nothing of its kind.
right,
And just for what it is, people would, like you said, would be logging on just to see what the outcome would be. You know what I mean? Just to watch it to see. It'd
yeah,
be very interesting. It'd be very interesting.
it would be very
Something the
interesting.
NBA, I think, should think about.
Well, I think it would be interesting. It would be sad if the result was, the white guys get pummeled. That would be sad. It would be sad both ways if either team gets pummeled. But
Pummeled, yeah.
realistically, I don't think the black team's going to get pummeled if these two teams we just rattled off, played each other. There's a better chance.
No, and I think it would be a hard fought game. I think, the guys would really put some effort in it. They'd have some fun with it, but at the end of the day, they would put some effort into it. You know what I mean?
I think they would be. I think it wouldn't be the last like as we said when we were kids, the All Star game, they seemed to try most of the game, but it definitely got tougher in the second half of the game, and then even most recently, they almost don't care at all until like the last sort of 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
The defense actually kind of shows up a little bit, and you can tell people are trying to score, partially because who knows? It seems like someone wants to win the MVP of the game rather than actually just win the game.
that's
Pardon me.
correct.
But I do
That's
think,
what.
yeah, I do think in this game they would be trying from the start. Like it would be,
Yeah,
on from the opening tip off.
opening tip. Yeah, yeah. Because and especially the first game of it, it's such an emotional game because people are going to want to see what side ends up right. So I think, but it's people's mindset though. It's just if they know that, hey, people, it's just a game. Don't
Right,
take it anywhere further.
right. It
Doesn't mean
doesn't. It doesn't need to, yeah, spill over into our social lives and
that's right.
like that. But yeah, no, that would be. I think it'd be funny. So, do you have a prediction for the game today? Who ends up winning this thing? One of the U.S. teams, or do you think the world team can pull off this little tournament?
You know, let's see. I love the US because the US has been dominant, but the world seems to be creeping up on them, and I love an underdog. So let's go with the world and see what happens.
Okay, yeah, I'm cheering for the world as well. Partly because I would like some of what I said earlier, the American team to say, "Hey, this is BS. We're diluted," so that hopefully, if the world wins, they will repeat this exercise next year and have just one team from each play each other, best of the best. Again, I don't think it would be the worst thing for the game if the American team dominated the world team, because most of the eyeballs watching these games on TV and going to them are Americans, obviously. So if it got them kind of pumped up a little bit more, about the NBA, and again, there might be some
And on the opposite
interest.
side, like what you're saying, it would be a learning curve for the world team. Hey, we got pummeled. We know what to do. They're that dominant. When you face something and then you got to go face it again, experience just like in life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It teaches you a lesson.
Yes. Well, and it's a win-win because if the world team did happen to win a game, like if the world wins today, hypothetically, and then came back and actually won, pardon me, a game against just a one-off game, not a tournament, the world NBA fans would potentially get more excited and it would grow the sport, internationally even more.
More internationally.
Yeah,
That's right.
some kid sitting somewhere in who knows where, some small village somewhere is watching the game and they hear and they go, "Ooh." I could be in the NBA one day, and
I could be in the NBA one day, and that's all it takes. One little dream, right? So
yeah, all right.
you're right.
And we've got all these Canadians in there. It was Vince Carter in that dunk contest. So if there was just some little trigger to get, extra eyeballs on the game, I think it would help grow the sport.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so yeah, we agree there. And then back to Raptors. What do you think? We got 2 games this week.
The
Oh, actually, no,
Bulls,
we don't. We have only one. Sorry, there's only one game this week because
just the Bulls, right?
just the Bulls. Yeah, the other game is on Sunday, actually. So we will be back here before that. So what do you think? We're kicking the Bulls' butt.
Oh
Like
yeah,
we did
we need
last
to
game.
kick their butt. We got their number this year. We got
Yeah.
their number, and like I said, and we just talked about it. When it comes to mediocre teams, it seems like we have their number because our team they play with tenacity. They play with fun when they're playing these teams, and then when we get to a marquee team, like I was saying, we sort of tighten up. I think we get too, you know what I mean? Like, hey, this one's on the shoulders. They just got to go out there, keep having fun. I think we have. Our record, what are we? We're 35-25, I think our record is right now. So they just got
Overall,
to keep doing what they're doing.
oh my gosh, I had the standings up, but I clicked over to see my other team.
Hmm,
Yeah, we are 32 and 23. Oh, that's kind of funny.
32 and 23.
32,
Okay. Yeah.
23. So yeah, okay, we agree. I think we're pummeling the Bulls. It's at the Bulls, but their team is in disarray. They traded so many guys away at the trade deadline that they weren't great anyways, and now they've got a whole bunch of new guys trying to figure it out. So
Trying to figure it out.
hopefully
Well,
they're
we don't
squared
need
away.
them to figure it out on us. So let's get that W and tread forward.
Please, yes, don't let that happen. Like the Detroit losing streak ending against the Raptors. That's kind of stuff always seems to happen against us. I know it's just as a Raptor fan, hearing all of the times that things like that do happen. But oh my gosh, sometimes it really does feel like it happens to us more often. So
It does. It's just so funny. I'm gonna bring up one thing. I love you, Raptors, but we were talking the other day, and my friend comes up to me and he's like, "Tell me something. Why does the Raptors always get drenched on?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Kobe dropped 81 on you guys." I'm like, "Okay, enough. Stop it. Don't go there."
no, that was depressing. I remember watching that game. Yes, that's sad, and it still stays with us every time. Every time someone gets over 50 points in a game, they go through the highlights, and I got to relive that game. So yeah.
I know.
And we
What a
started out so
moment.
well. Remember our first season, we actually beat the Bulls in that 72-10 season for them.
That's
So
right.
maybe it's the NBA gods seeking revenge on us for giving us that early victory.
That only victory. Hey, you know what goes around comes around, right?
Exactly, exactly. All right. Anyways, my gosh, if you've made it this far, Raptor fans, we really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, give us some comments. Even what do you guys think? Who wins in an NBA All Star game of black versus white, white versus black?
And who would be the MVP? Give us something, people.
Yeah,
Add,
please.
add add some fuel to the fire.
Exactly. Let us know your thoughts. And yeah, we really appreciate it. If you can hit us subscribe as well, if you're not a subscriber, we appreciate that too. And we will see you guys next week. Thanks, Coach.
Wrap it up.